Hello, Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. I wanted to ask a follow-up question here to my climate change readings, and that is, did we as a collective manifest this current virus, this pandemic, and did we choose it before we came into this lifetime to experience this? And if so, why did we manifest this? So, as a collective, did we manifest this pandemic, and why? As a collective, did we manifest this pandemic? Three of Wands. Okay, now that is the connection globally that we have to one another. It's also the trade and commerce cards that come up in relation to our leaders, and the challenge around that is the Nine of Cups. This is miracles, wish fulfillment. This card is also expanding ourselves, and to a certain extent, there are three rods here of inspiration and drive and passion, and did we mobilize? It's what these cards seemingly suggest that we did, and that it will affect and impact on our world and on our prosperity. Let's have a look at what the foundation of the reading is. The Queen of Swords. This is the truth, the objective truth. This is to restoring perhaps stability and security to this world, that perhaps it was insecure, that certain things were in jeopardy, that our ability to experience wish fulfillment was challenged in some way. Prosperity, that Nine of Cups equates with prosperity, but it's in the challenge position. Let's see what's in the past. This quick energy of the Knight of Cups. This is the con artist. This is being conned in one way or another by something. It doesn't necessarily have to be our leaders, but it could be being conned into thinking we need X or we need Y, that our lives are somehow not fulfilled unless we do have that. But this is a quick energy. This Knight comes in, presents us with something, and then leaves very, very quickly. And we're left holding something. This is what's crowning this reading, and this is a yes card. It's a very strong yes card, as is the Three of Wands is another yes card. But this again, this Sun card keeps coming up in my readings all the time to do with the pandemic. This is something that has or will threaten our happiness. The Sun is full transparency, illumination of a very, very megawatt nature. We can't turn away from this. This is something that is needed. And this is also for the future. This pandemic will help us in some way in the future. Another yes card. We'd gone to sleep. We knew that we had to have these new starts. This staff again has those beautiful white flowers and green growth, butterfly transformation, chrysalis. So we are manifesting something. We chose to manifest something new. Our higher selves, it's amazing that the magic in life that comes through when you see or hear, you watch your higher self manifest something that causes suffering but leads to a wonderful transformation. And that's the intelligence of us, the intelligence of the collective, the intelligence that at the micro level we may not necessarily be seeing, but in time becomes very, very apparent. Hope. The Star of Hope. Right now. intentions, positive intentions. Did we manifest this as a collective? Very early on in my readings, the Star of Hope was ever present there, and I talked about, I think this was former President Obama's slogan, was around in hope, was around restoring hope. I also listened to Lorna Byrne today. She came up in my feed. She is somebody that has seen angels all her life. And in fact, she wrote a bestseller about it, Angels in My Hair. Some of you would be familiar with her. Now, thank you, Spirit. She spoke some very wise words today. I hadn't intended listening to the broadcast. I was enjoying some vegetable soup, and I thought I'll just put my AirPods in and just listen to this. And one of the things she said about hope is that the leaders, our leaders of this time, this was a channeled message from the angelic realm, that our leaders of the time had coveted power, taken power, grasped power, engineered power for their own aims, their selfish aims. In a way, she didn't use selfish. She doesn't use those words. But one of the things that they did not like or want to see was hope. And the reason that they didn't want to see hope was because it mobilized the population. One of the things, I got a beautiful email from Lena Rodriguez today, and she's okay. She's trying to get back home to Australia. You know, Godspeed, Lena. You know, she'll have to quarantine for herself for a couple of weeks. She's been holidaying in Greece. She said, Marianne, I really think that this pandemic is bringing left and right together. We're seeing bipartisanship. Absolutely. She said, to throw some cards on it. Yes, we are. That is why these leaders who have really cultivated division for the last 3 years do not want to see hope. That is why former President Obama chose hope to focus on, because it mobilizes the population. And those that seek power, those that want to take away our power, do not want to see that. Now, it's interesting that this is such an American card for me. Now, I know that hope exists all over the world, but this came forward very early in my American readings. And so we've got hope. We've got this wake-up call. We've done this as a collective in some way. We have either made decisions in our past life, or maybe at some time in our life we've contributed in some way to where we are now. But this is a blameless reading. This is all about hope. This is about a positive intention. So we did manifest, but it was a positive intention. That's interesting. I can see what's on the bottom of the pack as well, and I'm not surprised. So when I get excited like this, it's like I knew this card was going to be there. The Wheel of Fortune, this is karmic. This is a karmic situation. And I want to stress here that this will pass. I know it. I've been told it. I heard it before I started this reading. This will be all right. This will pass. But things will change. Things will change. Okay. Here we have the two cards for the here and now. Manifesting, hope, and a karmic situation. The Wheel of Fortune comes forward to improve things, something changing for the better, even though we can't see it now. And that's the thing with hope. We have to be courageous. We have to, in the darkness, we have to know that it's going to be okay. The Seven of Swords in the fear position. What were we fearing? We knew we are a living organism, we are connected, and we knew that something was not right. The Seven of Swords, the thief, the liar, the person that has a strategy, again, that would sneak into the camp and leave us defenseless. This is the virus, but it's also our leadership. It's also every corporation that's sold someone down the river, every business that's done the wrong thing. I go to the water quality in, is it, where is that, Lint, is it, in America? I go to that. And I know that former President Obama has his critics, but he entered politics with the best of intentions, and he did a lot of good. The Hermit, we're having to reflect. We're having to isolate. What a better time to do it than to when the world quietens, when the world slows down and gives us the space, the universal space to think, to reflect. And this is also to find the hope in the darkness. The Hanged Man, having to see things in a different way. The High Priestess, manifesting something right in the very core of our higher selves, our intuitive mind, our intuitive selves, manifesting something. And review, how are we manifesting, because we're reviewing. If we can't achieve, we are very clever as a species. If we can't achieve something, then something occurs. And to think that we're not connected, to not understand that, is really not to live with a divine connection. We are, and we are reviewing. We are absolutely reviewing. Let's see what's at the base of the pack. Our leadership. Courage. We have to be courageous. We all have to be leaders at this time. We'll be choosing new leaders. The world will be different at the end of this, and I'll ask that question. A coming together, a unity that we haven't seen for a long time. And I go to the UK because I feel it very strongly. That came through in my last reading. I feel it very strongly there. The illusion, the alternative reality, having to make choices. We're being forced to make choices because we're restricted. We do have the Lovers card here. This is again speaking of unity, but we do have victory, and we will take control again. We will take control back. This is about us coming forward as a community, individuals. We're almost... this is a grassroots. What this pandemic will do will be restart, kickstart, reinvent, invent, renew, reinvigorate, grassroots action, inspiration. And this is justice. This is absolutely justice. This is absolutely karmic. All right. I hope that that reading was helpful. That was a request that I read on that. I hope I did that with tact, that I didn't upset anyone. But I will finish off with what is it going to look like after this passes. Now, I did get some time frames in my latest reading. I drew that final card which said by December you will be able to smell the roses again. So well and truly before the end of this year, we will get a handle on this. You know, I don't want to ask, I know you want me to ask, what are we going to experience during that time? But I don't need cards to tell you that. We're going to experience, obviously, a recession. I hope not a depression. We're going to experience almost a reset of our financial, the way our economies. The things that might likely change will be, for example, I just take the Australian situation. We do produce 75% of the food we eat. There are certain lines that we can't get because they're coming from overseas. Then we start to buy what we can that is made in Australia. Now, providing we haven't completely run out of town our manufacturing capacities, those products that are manufactured in Australia are going to be bought, because we simply can't get some goods and services from overseas. All right, so it's going to reduce from the macro, and I'm not an economist, but we're going to be more micro focused because we have to be. All right. And of course, there are going to be opportunities for new markets to spring up as well. But we are going to have to go through some sort of financial pain. Okay, let's have a look at what the world will look like after this pandemic in the new year. What is the world going to look like in 2021? Let's take a date in January 2021. We have endings and beginnings. We have endings and new beginnings, and we have our star. So they were the two cards the two signify cards. I'm just going to leave them out. We will have our hope will have taken us to an ending and a new beginning. So that green man in that card is very, very vibrant. We have birds, we have nature will have healed to a certain extent. Okay, what will the world look like? I'll just run some cards along, and then I'll clarify them in the second row. What will the world look like in January 2021? Our hope will have got its there. Two of Wands. Okay, so we are at the crossroads. You're not going to necessarily get paradise on January 2021, but we will have brought something to a conclusion, and we will be at the crossroads, the threshold of something. The High Priest, have faith, have faith. This is also in governments as well. I'm going to pull another card on that. The Emperor card. All right, so taking control back. I feel certainly in America, leadership will change, and there'll be more. I'll read on that more in depth later. Let's keep going. The Page of Pentacles underneath the Star of Hope. Page of Pentacles is starting to, again, came forward a lot in my early readings on the US political system or state of affairs, breaking news. Early in the days of the Mueller investigation, the Page of Pentacles kept coming up. You know, in hindsight, what was that? Was that what is occurring as a result of this pandemic? That is, we've got, big business, big money, things changing. That's underneath the world, the Ten of Pentacles. That's underneath endings and beginnings. Underneath the Two of Wands, the Crossroads card, we've got the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords is some harsh truth we have to face. So by January 2021, we'll be facing a harsh truth. It's not going to be Armageddon, but it's going to be a litany of what is the damage that has been done in the past. We're going to be seeing that. It may not be immediately, but it will come out. It will trickle out, because that's what the Page of Swords does. When you're in a healing situation, when you've got to face the truth of something, when you're manifesting these new beginnings, the Page of Swords just keeps jabbing away until you get the truth. Underneath the High Priestess, we've got the Ace of Pentacles. So there will be some sort of new start here. These are systems, government systems, any institution, could even be our health systems as well. There's going to be some kind of new start there. And the King of Cups underneath the Emperor. I'm glad that came out, because that clarifies us. The government will have changed in the US. The government will have changed. The Emperor is gone to be replaced by the King of Cups. Thank you, Spirit. I think there are a lot of people that needed to hear that message. Okay, let me bring the laptop down so you can see. The Emperor, the government, new starts in 2021. The Emperor's gone to be replaced by the King of Cups. All right, retreat now. Illness, sickness, retreat. The Six of Cups underneath the kind of new beginning we're manifesting. The Six of Cups, we're reuniting with our higher self. And there's an abundance to be had with that as well. The Crossroads, the Page of Swords, the alternative reality. We will be getting a look at just how far we were duped, at just how far we were sucked in to this alternative reality, just how dangerous it actually was. Strength and endurance, our government will be stronger. By January 2021, we have a new government, it will be stronger. It will need to be. Now, things are going to come at this King of Cups, one after the next, after the next, after the next. This is speed, this is missiles coming all at the one time. So it's not like we suddenly wake up in January, is it January 21st? Or whatever date it is when the former government leaves, the new government comes. It's not as if that day is going to be, everything's going to be okay. It is the start of rectification. All right, let's see what's happening now. We were conned. This Knight of Cups, we were conned. There is a harsh truth that we're experiencing, but guess what? We're healing. We're healing and we're moving on. The Six of Swords is a moving on card. I understand that we're highly anxious. We're worried. This is the Nine of Swords, high levels of anxiety. But the Three of Cups talks about us coming together. And guess what? I don't read reversals, but the Five of Swords, which is the abuse of power, is upside down. Okay, and I'm just going to turn it up the right way for the next reading. Okay, that's what I see. That's what I see coming forward in January 2021. So I say again, this will pass. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going down to cook something nice for dinner and settle in and relax this evening. On my Oracle deck, I've pretty much almost finished. It's just about ready for printing. Of course, it's a rotten time to bring it forward, but I'll confront that at the time. I think it will be available this financial year. Certainly I'll do a small print run to begin with, and then more will be available as the economy improves. So I'll keep you posted. I'm so chuffed with it. It looks so beautiful. Kudos to my graphic designer, and kudos to Spirit for channeling the words and the wisdom, and making me find everything that I needed. With that deck, I had everything that I needed to create it. All right, I'll leave it there. Thank you for tuning in. I'll be back again with another reading soon.